Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Londa. I'm the Crazy Vegan. Today we're going to talk about calorie density. One of the things that I'm learning on my weight loss journey is calorie density. There's a chart between 100 calories per pound all the way through 4,000 calories per pound. And what you want to do is stick to the lower calorie density foods in order to lose weight. Now this is a vegan channel, so I am not going to include any meats, but there are some vegetarians, so I will include the dairy. Let's start with the first item of the chart. The first item on the chart is 100 calories per pound. Those items include vegetables that are non-starchy. All non-starchy vegetables. What that means is that you're going to eat a lot of vegetables to fill up your stomach's capacity, and you're not going to use very many calories. That's 100 calories per pound. So for every pound of food that you put in your stomach, you're only going to have 100 calories. This also helps you know that you want to incorporate as many non-starchy vegetables in your meals as possible. You can even add things like spinach, kale, chopped up real fine and added to your oatmeal. You can't really taste it with all your other ingredients, so use it as a filler as well as a side dish. The second category in the calorie density chart is 300 calories per pound, and which is fruit. All fruit with one exception, avocados. Avocados is later on in the list, and we'll talk about it later. Since fruit is only 300 calories per pound, you can eat almost as much as you want, but not like vegetables. We can use our fruit, such as crushed up bananas, and use to sweeten our oatmeal. Use it as a sweetener in our baking, or just by itself as a snack. Fruit's great. It also curbs the sweet tooth, so we don't go in the later more calories per pound than we want. The next item on the list, 400 calories per pound. 400 calories per pound would be potatoes and starchy vegetables. We can eat as much potatoes or non-starchy vegetables as we want because it's still very low calorie density. There are people that eat only potatoes for a very long time, and they can eat and eat and eat until their stomach is so full that it hurts, and they still will not gain weight. Just a little thing to keep in mind to show you how much volume that you could be eating. The next item on the list is whole grains like oatmeal, oat groats, pesto, things like that. Those items are 500 calories per pound. We want to be a little more careful with those because it is a little bit higher, and a lot of whole grains we tend to like to eat a lot of, especially if you're making oatmeal cookies or sprouted breads. The next item is 600 calories per pound. Those include beans and legumes. These are a good protein. You don't want to leave them out just because they're a little higher. You just want to make sure that you don't eat too many. With beans, you can make your bean soups. Make sure you use a filler by using a lot of vegetables and that type of stuff on it. Remember, beans and legumes, 600 calories per pound, 750 calories per pound. This is the line we cross. 750 calories per pound is avocados. do not eat the whole avocado. Really. I'm guilty of that. Really. I include many avocados at one sitting, in fact, which is why I say avoid them. If you like them as much as I do, I would take them out of your diet completely. Because I can sit there and just eat them and eat them. And that was part of my problem with gaining weight. Is we lived near someone with an avocado tree, and well, for me, that's like the kiss of death because I like avocados a lot. Okay, now that we've crossed the line, let's go to the next item on our list. 1,200 calories per pound. 1,200 calories per pound are things like ice cream. Guess what? No more ice cream. Unless, of course, you take bananas, frozen, blend with a little bit of plant milk, and maybe add a little bit of vanilla extract, and you've got some nice cream. It's ice cream that's not way down there on the list. That's 1,200 calories per pound. Just a little excerpt there on the difference of what you can do instead. 400 calories per pound is the next item on our list, which is breads, bagels, wraps, things like that. So you want to avoid this category altogether because it is one of the things that most people have a craving for. Once they eat one, they want a lot. Again, one of my problems being a overweight vegan is that I was eating things that were way down on that list, and I was eating a lot. Because the more you eat, the more you want. That's how some of the items that you eat do. Carbs is one of them, in the form of breads. Not carbs in general. There's a lot of carbs in the other items on the list, like potatoes, but they don't make you want to eat and eat and eat and eat because you're craving that item. Next item on the list is 1,600 calories per pound. That would be cereals and cheese. Cheese is one of those things, it's dairy, and or even vegan cheeses are about the same, so we want to stay away from those also, unless it's the cheese sauces that you make with the potato and the corn or carrots and that type of stuff. It's like taking fat and condensing it and mushing it into a little small item. So you're taking shots of fat is what you're doing that tastes good. Really. It's like taking a spoonful of oil, but it tastes good, so you eat it anyway. Get it? The next thing on our list is 1,800 calories per pound for crackers, popcorn. I'm not really certain why popcorn is on there, especially if you make it air popped, but it is on the list, so we're going to say that that's where it's at. Although corn is a starchy vegetable and you can eat it up there close to the top of the calorie density chart for some reason, popcorn is way down on the high calorie one. It's possible they're thinking about the toppings. Most people like butter or high calorie sauces or seasonings on it. We'll never know unless the person that put it on the original list can tell us. And not that it's cooked in oil, because that's later on in the list. Get it? Alright, let's continue. Next category on the list is 2,500 calories per pound. 2,500 calories per pound. Repeat that. Chocolate, 2,500 calories per pound. That is so far on the list, and it's so loved by everyone, including me. So, ease up on the chocolate, even dark chocolate. Let's continue. 2,800 calories per pound. That's real small items with a lot of calories. Those are nuts, seeds, your nut butters, tahinis. Now we use a lot of tahini in our recipes, but what we're doing is we're using a small amount, and it stretches to make very little per serving. So even though it's on the high calorie list, it can be used properly as long as you use it correctly. Like nut butters, if you want to put a whole piece of toast with your nut butter, you need to watch it because you're putting a lot of fat on that bread. Now, if you barely put it on there, just enough to add some flavor, and then add your bananas or whatever on it, then that's a little different. You just have to really watch how much nut butters you're using and how much you're putting on your stuff or in your recipes, depending on how many servings your recipe is. So just keep an eye on that, or you're going to be consuming a lot of calories in a very little amount of space in your stomach. The last thing on our list is 4,000 calories per pound. 4,000 calories per pound would be oils, all oils, coconut oil, olive oil, vegetable oil, canola oil, anything oil. It doesn't matter how good for you they say it is. All that oil per pound is a lot of calories. You're going to eat like a tablespoon of oil and it's going to be 4,000 calories. One of the things also on that list is your buttered popcorn cooked in oil. Well, when you cook your popcorn in the oil, it soaks up that oil that you're cooking it in. Plus you add even more by putting butter on it. So if you like your popcorn, I suggest eating it completely plain or not at all. Find something else. That's it for the calorie density explanation. We will start cooking more on calorie density on my channel. We will be using the first 4 items on the list. I'm not even going to go there with the avocado because I know I have an addiction to avocado. So we're not going to do that. The 5th one, which is beans and legumes, but nothing before that. And we're going to limit the beans and legumes because of their higher density. And if we do use them, we're going to use a lot of the vegetables, the non-starchy ones added. That way we don't have a lot of calories per pound in our meals. As for the cooking and the sauces, we're not going to use very much stuff. We're going to use things that are no salt or low salt. We're not going to add any cream stuff. We're just using whole fresh seasonings or dried seasonings that are in their fresh state. They're just no calories because they're just a plant, dried and crunched up and put in your food. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative for your weight loss journey. Please leave in the comments any suggestions you have for this channel that you'd like to see. Many of the recipes that I will be using will be from the Start Solution, Whole Foods Plant-Based, Forks Over Knives, and Nutritarian. We will also experiment with low calorie density food by using the list that I just shared with you. So if you enjoyed this video and want to follow my weight loss journey and learn what works and what doesn't, at least with me, then don't forget to click the bell and subscribe. That way you won't miss any episodes of my journey. Thank you for watching and see you next time.